Hello and welcome to the iGeeksBlog show, an Apple exclusive podcast where we talk about teeny tiny every possible information about the Apple ecosystem. I'm your host Harshanki, a marketing nerd who likes to eat, breathe, and survive on Apple content quite literally. In today's episode, we're going to be discussing one of your favorite games, but a lot of boring content added to it. We're going to be discussing lawsuits in today's episode. Now, I'm pretty sure you must have already gotten hint to what is coming on your way. But before that, the iGeeksBlog show is available across every streaming platform of your choice. Please do like, share, follow, subscribe, and download our episodes. We're fairly new to the audio industry and would love honest feedback and support from your end. Please do not forget to also connect with us on our social media handles. We're available as iGeeksBlog on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. You can also connect with me on my Instagram or Clubhouse. I'm available as Harshanki with an extra I. So what happens is that when you own an iPhone, the only place that you can download an application, be it a game or some kind of app that you need to use, is from the Apple's App Store itself, because Apple is very keen on protecting your security and privacy and all of that, right? So now what happens is that all the developers have to submit their applications to the Apple App Store, and Apple takes a 30% revenue cut from whatever profits they are making from whatever in-app purchases they have. And there is no option, this is the only option to put your app out there, that if you want to connect to the iPhone's audience, then you have to submit it to the Apple App Store, abide by the commission that they are charging, and work your way around. Epic Games, on the other hand, thought of taking one for the team. So what they've decided, and what they were planning apparently for a very long time, is that they want to challenge the very core of the way Apple's App Store earns its money. The way they earn their income, the way they're charging a hefty commission from all the developers across. Epic Games wants to challenge that and work a way around it. And this is why Epic Games diligently planned to get the Fortnite removed from the App Store, and then began a series of trials and errors and courtroom hearings, which are now beginning to be known as Apple versus Epic lawsuits, or Tim versus Tim. I'm sure you're as excited as I am to know every details about it, and trust me, you're getting all the information from the best gossip monger you can ever come across. So here we go, without wasting much of your time. Let's just directly dive into the discussion. Just to give you a little bit of brief about what the controversy is all about. Last August, that is August 2020, Epic Games played a kind of a game, which we're going to discuss later in the episode. And Apple managed to ban Fortnite in a couple of hours after that particular thing was executed. Now, what Epic Games is claiming, that after Apple decided to ban Fortnite from its App Store, it has impacted its revenue majorly. And Epic Games is generating losses apparently, or getting banned from the Apple's App Store is a primary concern for that. If that's true, then who's going to talk about the $29 billion valuation that Epic Games just had and got the money accordingly? Doesn't quite line up, right? Yeah, anyway, let's not get distracted. And coming back to the point, well, it may not be bringing the company down, because the numbers truly stand against it. It surely has taken a bit of a hit to Tim Sweeney. And since then, they have been executing this project, which is now known as Project Liberty. So Project Liberty is a strategically planned concept against the Apple ecosystem, to challenge the very core of the way they charge the revenue cut and bring it down. Under that campaign, Epic Games came up with an ad resembling to the 1984 Super Bowl commercial that is considered one of the best commercials Apple has ever aired.
Today, we celebrate the anniversary of the platform unification directives. For years, they have given us their songs, their labor, their dreams. In exchange, we have taken our tribute, our profits, our control. This power is ours and ours alone. We
and it's come up with a very resembling sort of commercial where it is challenging the revenue cuts and is putting up a fight against Apple and wants your support in it. Now, this, my friends, started the very famous hashtag Free Fortnite campaign, and all of us have witnessed it on Twitter, on Instagram, been talking about it lately, a lot of podcasts. Free Fortnite has been such a big hit in the last few months. But do you know why was this done, or what even is Project Liberty? Like, what is it about to mean, and what were the steps that Epic Games took? Okay, so remember how you make those in-app purchases every time while you're playing a game in the app? Okay, so what happens is when you're purchasing from the game itself, you're kind of making the purchase through the Apple's App Store, which demands a 30% revenue cut from your end. So if you're paying, say, $1 for whatever in-app purchase that you've made, you're paying 70 cents to the developer and the remaining 30 cents to the App Store. Epic Games came up with a currency which is known as V-Bucks. Now, it is offering V-Bucks at a discount of 20% when you buy it online, like from the Epic Games store or whatever. But if you purchase it from the Apple's App Store, it wasn't giving any discounts of sorts. It was available at the same price. After this was launched, I mean, who wouldn't want 20% discount on the in-app purchases, right? So everyone wanted to buy it from the other options other than the App Store, which is still considered valid. It is still considered valid and you can make the purchase. But this did not go well with Apple, and within hours of coming up with the scheme, Apple just put ban on Fortnite and took it off the Apple App Store. Now, this started a legal battle with Apple and Epic Games all across the world, not just the US, but the UK, Australia, Europe, New Zealand, and which all places. The US trial began earlier on the May 3rd, whereas the other trials would begin in a shorter time, sooner or later. Okay, I do understand that this move does not make much of a sense from Apple's point of view, because Apple never allows third-party purchases, never, right? But Epic Games did that because they wanted to challenge the very core of the payment scheme and this unfair amount of charges that Apple has been taking, and just to challenge that, they wanted to do something revolutionary, and this is the revolutionary step that they take to bring it to everyone's notice, to get the necessary media attention, etc. It came up, and this is what we witnessed. Now, I'll explain Apple's bullshitry to you, okay? I mean, it's okay to act in one way, it's okay to be sly, but the kind of action that Apple did in this V-Bucks' response is such bullshitry, but you gotta deal with it and kind of agree with Epic Games because this is their monopoly, okay? This is their pure monopoly. Like, how can you possibly do this? Okay, help me understand this, yeah? So what Apple did is that, and it has been doing over the years, is that it lets you purchase your V-Bucks from anywhere. So you can purchase it from your Mac or your Xbox or your PlayStations, whatever device that you're using. You can purchase the V-Bucks from there and then use it in whichever device you're playing the game in. But you cannot purchase them from your iPhone because of the App Store inconvenience. Does this even make sense to you? And how inconvenient is this? Now imagine that while you're playing the game and you run out of your currency and you need the currency immediately, you're not gonna find a Mac or an Xbox for that matter, make the purchase, then continue playing game from your iPhone. Obviously, you're gonna keep playing the game from your iPhone, right? And this is where Apple showed its bullshitry. I mean, this is clear monopoly, and technically you cannot question the judgment that they passed, but then it's full of it clearly has hidden motives behind it, and it's not just restricted to giving them permission. So this gave them like kind of an upper hand that yes, we did do something about it, but in a very diplomatic way. So they did do something about it, but they also did not do anything about it. You know what I mean? So when all of this came up, the companies decided to file a lawsuit against each other. And what happened was, immediately after Apple got Epic Games, I mean the Fortnite game, out of the App Store, Epic Games was waiting for this moment. So they launched a case against Apple. And once they launched a case against Apple, they question a lot of things. They want to prove that Apple has a monopoly over the developers, and they're forcing the developers with a hefty sum of charge, which is not technically required. I partially agree to that, but I have more points to back it up, so we're going to discuss them later. So, yes, Epic Games wants to come up to a conclusion and end this. And the step, or the Project Liberty, you call it, whatever, they believe it is going to be pretty revolutionary under this scenario, because what they've done is they've literally challenged them, right? So, whatever outcome is going to come out of it is going to help. And it is not just about Epic Games being revolutionary, okay? Or Epic Games trying to transform the world. Think about it rationally. The 30% cut doesn't make sense to anyone. Think about it from this point of view, okay? Imagine if you're going shopping to a supermarket and you've done all the chores by yourself, you've done all the errands by yourself. Now, when the time comes to make the payment, you hand it over to your shopping assistant. The person just makes the payment and charges you a 30% commission for it. Does that make sense? No, right? Similarly, Apple's cut does not make sense, because you have to understand the fact that what they're doing is they're only processing the transactions, they're only processing the payments, whereas the development, the execution, the management, everything comes under developers. And Apple is not contributing to any of that. All it's doing is managing the service and helping you sanction the payment. That's it. So, for all of this efforts, like the so-called efforts Apple has been putting, having 8 to 10% of commission is a fair thingy, but a 30% is a little too much. And did you guys know that Apple has actually limited the revenue cut and made exceptions in the past? Like, Apple has developed an App Store small business program under which, if you as a developer are earning less than $1 million annually, then you only would be charged with 15% commission and not 30% commission. And this might bug you a little, okay? But this is how corporate relationships work. So, Apple has reduced commission for Amazon's video platforms and brought it down to 15%. Yes, $1 trillion company helping the other about to be, or other $1 trillion company. I have to get my facts checked. Yes, they have done it for Amazon. Now, they have another reason for that as well. Because Apple has been utilizing Amazon's cloud storage and is paying $30 million annually. So they did bring the cut down for Amazon and gave them like a 15% discount. Fair? Nah. Corporate settlements or friendships? Hell yeah. So when all of this happens, no, I kind of want to support Epic Games and the community and Sweetney, of course, because see, it does look like monopoly. The developers are being affected a lot. But then Epic Games, despite of having the correct cause, is not doing too good a job in managing that or in backing up the theory and, doing things like that. Because it has gone out of its way to prove that how badly is this affecting their business, or how badly they want to change it, and they just are trying to bring Apple down. I mean, they should really focus on, battling the cause rather than trying to bring the other company down. So this is where I feel the things are not going a little too good. So when the trials have already begun, we can expect 3 changes to come. I mean, that is what I'm presuming, but then it of course depends on the judge that what result she gives. But the obvious circumstances can be either Epic Games is thrown out from the App Store forever, Apple continues with the 30% revenue cut, and Epic Game loses. The second option can be that the court forces Apple to be a little more gutsy, and opens its way to third-party purchases. This is where Epic Games' App Store would come into place and the purchases would happen. Or the third option that I possibly see is Apple can reduce the revenue cut, and it's a win-win situation for all the developers out there. Fun fact, Project Liberty did not just happen overnight in the year 2020. Tim Sweetney had mentioned his hatred towards the 30% revenue cut since early 2017. And finally, when the time came right, he chose his most famous game, Fortnite, to put up a battle like this, to bring everyone's attention on it and make a way through. But despite of having a stronger case, Sweetney, you're gonna have a good team of lawyers, and have a decent hearing, like validate your point for God's sake, because Apple's lawyers are doing an amazing job in putting their points in. I don't want you to lose. Here's how Apple is going really strong against Epic. So, Epic, the maker of the popular Fortnite game, contends Apple has been gouging app makers for charging commissions ranging from 15% to 30% for in app transactions because it forbids other options on its iPhone, iPad, and iPod. When Epic tried to evade the commissions with an alternative payment system in Fortnite last August, Apple ousted it from the App Store to set up a legal showdown that could force it to lower its fees. The counter statement: Apple contends the commissions are a reasonable pay toll by a minority of the 1.8 million apps in its store to help cover more than $100 billion it has invested in mobile softwares. The Cupertino, California company also maintains its ironclad control over apps allowed on its mobile devices help protect the customer's security and privacy. For instance, at one point during his 2 days on the witness stand, Epic CEO Tim Sweeney acknowledged he personally uses an iPhone because it offers better security and privacy controls. Grow up, Sweeney. Even if you're using it, freaking hide it. You cannot say it on paper. You cannot say it on record. You're fighting against the company. I mean, oh my god. Sweeney, not only he did not stop here, okay? He also acknowledged that Apple has made change to iPhones' software to help make it possible for Fortnite to ease out the Fortnite situation in the App Store. Other documents also showed Epic Games' top level management and executives personally thanking Apple to smoothen the transition. Now, if things like this come out in the open, no, you kind of wonder if Apple is going to get the better end of it because, dude, like, it's not lining up. Like, freaking hide your documents, do something about it. It'll have more negatives out there than positives. Oh my god. This was still understandable. But, like, the first week of trial made sense because, you at least had these productive counters and, these accusations to each other. And Epic Games, of course, came up with a lot of numbers to prove that how it has affected the business and how is it Apple's monopoly and, blah, 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 all of that shit. But the second week has gotten so absurd, I tell you. Over the last few days, all they are discussing is a freaking banana in the Fortnite game. I'm not even kidding, my friends. Yes, a freaking banana. If you play Fortnite or if you remember the game, you must be aware about this banana character, Peely, which is apparently a naked banana in the game. So Apple, yeah, they've said this on the record. Apple went out there and said that Epic Games is promoting porn via its games and backed it up with the naked banana. So now this is what Epic Games did, okay? Oh my god. Epic Games made Peely, the infamous agent, wear like a coat suit. Epic Games made Peely, the infamous banana agent, wear a jacket. They literally made him wear a jacket so that they can call him Agent Peely and make him court appropriate. This is the topic of discussion in a freaking courtroom where a $1 trillion company is fighting with another $1 billion company out there. I'm gonna take a moment to process this. It's too much to handle. But this is not it. I guess the first week it was more in favor of Apple, whereas in the second week it was more in favor of Epic Games. And still it's going back and forth, like you cannot really come or pick a particular side. But how this case ends also depends a lot on the judge, because according to the Wall Street Journal, she is conservative and her approach may align with Apple's strategy than Epic Games' points. Judge Gonzalez Rojos, who hails from Texas, has not been facing such high end cases for the first time. She has witnessed the Apple cases twice before, and both the times have given results in favor of Apple. Now, this time also, so she did back Epic Games up when, the Apple's lawyer tried to give the Uber statement, and she did cut him down there. But there's another statement where she also made it very clear that she despises video games and gave her own sons as example. So I just hope that her personal opinions do not conflict the professional decision she's supposed to make. Also considering the fact that she has twice in the past supported Apple. But then she's again a judge, she's at a very high position, so we cannot make any presumptions, but only managed to discover a machine that can help us read her mind. Too dark? Okay, jokes apart, sadly, her opinion or her thought process is also going to affect the judgment a lot. And let's see what the future trials await for us. Are we going to see the Fortnite back on iPhone? Is Epic Games going to win this battle, and is it going to be a good situation for the developers? Ever? Or we're going to go back to the 30% revenue cut again, and Apple is going to stand still like the tech giant it has always been. Now, I'm sure you're as excited as I am to know every possible update about the Apple versus Epic trials and who comes out as the winner. How is it going to be advantageous to us, and what are the benefits that we're going to get? So, do not forget to connect with us on our social media channels. We are available across Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter as iGeeksBlog. You can also connect with me on my Instagram, or maybe connect on Clubhouse to have n number of discussions on the Epic versus Apple trials. I'm sure we have pretty interesting rumors, gossips, and a lot of things to discuss in mutual. So do connect. I'm available as Harshanki with an extra I on Clubhouse and Instagram as well. I'll see you next week with a fresh episode, fresh theories, rumors, discoveries, who knows what, on your very own The iGeeksBlog show. Do not forget to like, subscribe, share, comment, download to The iGeeksBlog show across any platform of your choice, because we're available across all the audio streaming platforms and would love to hear your feedback and love to gain some love from you guys. That's it. I'm Harshanki signing off. But you take care of yourself, because the second wave of the pandemic is hitting the world pretty hard. It's so scary. Remember to have your family, your health, and your friends as your first priority. Isolate yourself, double mask yourself, get yourself vaccinated at this time. Work is not your first priority. Your priority has to be saving yourself and protecting your family. Do take care of yourself. I wish you all the health and prosperity. I'll see you guys next week. Till then, stay safe, stay connected. And don't forget to wear your masks.